So far up until this point in CQ, we've been using JavaScript libraries, but we've kind of been using them behind the scenes. We've gone ahead and we've created different nodes in the repository, and then we've set up properties and we've defined X types. Those X types behind the scenes are actual JavaScript widgets. Now, we can create our own custom JavaScript widgets by utilizing the EXT.js framework by Sencha. Now, this is a very complicated framework and can take years for one to master, but we can actually write our own custom widgets and then import these into CQ and utilize these in all of our dialog boxes, our design dialog boxes, or wherever else we need to provide the best possible author experience. Let's explore how to do this. So let's go ahead and first open up our training project here. And inside of the training project, what I want to do is just create a widgets node. So I'm going to say new node, and I'm going to give this a name of widgets, and this should be a CQ client library folder. So go ahead and click finish. Okay, and you'll see you should now have a node in there called the CQ client library folder. Okay, so now let's create some properties to define our custom widget. So the first thing I want to do is I want to define the category that these custom widgets will be referred to. So again, highlight your widgets node, okay, and just right click and say add property and call this categories and define this as a string array, like you see there, and let's call this training.widgets, okay, and that's obviously going to point to our widgets folder. And now let's go ahead and just indicate another property that's going to indicate the dependency on the core CQ libraries. So I'm going to click on add property, and I'm going to call this dependencies, and again this is also going to be a string array. Okay, and I'm going to point this back to my core CQ library. So I'm just going to say CQ.widgets. Now again, you may never have to actually create a custom widget in your life, right? CQ ships with a bunch of different widgets that we've already used, including text widgets, rich text fields, all those kind of widgets. So this is only if you want to create your own custom widgets. And again, all the widgets that ship with CQ are fully listed in the documentation, so it's worth checking that out before you go and recreate the wheel. So now the next thing that we want to do is we want to define a property that will define the component that the resource is actually based on. So I'm just going to say add property here, and I'm going to say sling resource type. Okay, this is going to be a string, and then I'm going to say widgets / client lib. So there we go. And now the next thing, let's create a files node underneath our widget node, and this is going to be of type sling folder. So I'm going to say new node, like so, and I'm going to call this files, and this is going to be of type sling folder, just like so. So then I'm going to click finish, okay, and that's going to create that node underneath my widgets node. Now in the widgets client library folder, let's create a file named js.text. So right here, I'm going to say new file, and I'll say js.text, and then click finish. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a comma-separated list of widgets, which will be the JavaScript file names, in the order that you want them to be included. So here I'm going to say at base is equal to files, which references my files node. Okay, and then I'm going to say training.js, which is going to be my JavaScript file. So what we've now done is we've created a JavaScript library for our custom X types and widgets. So now when I want to add these custom widgets, all I have to do is drop them in the file.